Birth of American food.
America, a vast expanse of land with a cornucopia of ecological wonderlands, was once the canvas for the ingenious culinary strokes of its indigenous inhabitants. Hundreds of Native American tribes roamed the country, each adapting their culinary craft to the resources and climate of their region. It's a culinary journey through time that gave birth to American cuisine as we know it today, and boy, is it a feast for thought. Let's start with the Eastern Woodlands folks, who had their secret weapon dubbed the Three Sisters. No, it's not some covert spy agency, it's a trio of essential staple foods, corn, beans, and squash. They cultivated these bad boys together like an inseparable culinary dream team. Corn played the supportive friend, allowing beans to climb its stalks to new heights, while squash acted like the security detail, protecting and supporting the entire root system. Talk about teamwork. The result, a sustainable and varied food source that put the Eastern Woodlands on the map, culinarily speaking. Maple syrup, the nectar of the gods, or at least the Eastern Woodlands tribes, was another star in their culinary constellation. Extracted from maple tree sap, this natural sweetener sweetened their lives and led to an epic snow treat, taffy. Thickened sap poured onto the snow, creating a delectable concoction that sent taste buds soaring. This was the confirmed Willy Wonka golden ticket. But let's gallop over to the Great Plains and Canadian prairies, where the Plains Indians had their secret sauce for survival, bison. These majestic creatures weren't just a sight to behold but a culinary lifeline. Preserving bison meat was necessary with winters as harsh as a cold-hearted breakup. So they whipped out their culinary wands and turned the meat into jerky-like strips, sustenance during the toughest of times. Much like a survival reality show, these folks were the masters of adaptation. Now, let's take a culinary detour to the Pacific Northwest, where the indigenous peoples enjoyed a veritable buffet of nature's finest. Picture this, succulent seafood like salmon, fish, and shellfish on one side of the plate, while tender meats like deer, duck, and rabbit grace the other. This region's mild climate was a culinary blessing, allowing them to feast on diverse fare year-round. They lived in a food paradise, and we were all drooling in jealousy. And up north in Alaska, the native peoples knew how to work with what they had, and boy, they had some impressive options. Picture this, seals, salmon, and moose taking center stage in their nutrient-dense diet. With edible plants playing hard to get, their diet was low on carbs but high on fat and protein. They were the carnivorous connoisseurs, thriving on nature's bounty like a boss. But folks, this isn't just a culinary exploration, it's a vital lesson in cultural preservation and sustainable living. The knowledge and practices of indigenous peoples shaped American cuisine, and we must honor that legacy. Embracing indigenous ingredients and cooking methods adds diversity to our plates and expands our culinary horizons like a flavor explosion. However, let's not brush over the negatives. Throughout history, indigenous cultures were marginalized, and their culinary practices were appropriated. Forced assimilation robbed them of their traditional food systems and knowledge. It's a bitter pill to swallow, a dark stain on the annals of American culinary history. So let's savor the positive and confront the negative. Let's cherish the culinary heritage of the ingenious indigenous peoples bestowed upon us and ensure their legacy is honored and respected. After all, American cuisine is a mosaic, a collage of flavors and traditions that should be celebrated and preserved for generations to come.
You've just endured a thrilling snippet of the RPTM podcast. We sincerely hope our comedic genius left you in stitches, and of course, we're crossing our fingers that we've also brought a tear or two to your eye. And hold on to your hats, because if your brain cells are still intact after this roller coaster, consider gracing us with a sacred thumbs up. If that's not enough, give that subscribe button a whack. We wouldn't want you to miss out on the riveting sagas we've lined up.